Welcome to Planet MicroCap. I'm your host, Robert Kraft, and joining me today is Cal Everett. He is the president, CEO, and director of Liberty Gold. It's a publicly traded company. I got two symbols for you, LGD on the TSX and LGDTF on the OTCQX. And Liberty Gold will be presenting at the upcoming Precious Metals Summit Beaver Creek, happening September 13th through 16th, 2022. For more information, please go to precioussummit.com. And with that, Cal, thank you for joining me today. How you doing?
I'm doing good. Nice to see you.
Nice to see you too. So before we get into an update and all that good stuff, for those that haven't seen any interviews that we've done in the past, can you provide a quick overview of Liberty Gold, and then we'll go from there?
Sure. Liberty Gold is a company that's completely focused on run-of-mine heap leach oxide gold deposits in the Great Basin, one in southwest Utah and one in southern Idaho. The southern Idaho project, the Black Pine project, is actually kind of monstrous in scale, and we're drilling out an area right now that when we can get to certain areas due to permitting and whatnot, about 10.5 square kilometers. And in fact, we now know by the results that we published that we could double that footprint and take it over 20 square kilometers. And for people who aren't geologically oriented, effectively there's a sponge-like sedimentary sequence that is quite limey and silty siltstones, and that has been crushed over about a 400-meter thickness, but over a massive area. It's like taking out the entire geological unit. And everywhere we explore there, we find oxide gold to some level on every hole.
Absolutely. So last time we did an interview together, we published that on September 4th, 2021. So let's get that update. What would you say are some of the company's highlights and milestones since we last spoke?
Well, we published our first resource on the Black Pine deposit, and over that period of time, and that resource is going to have to get updated at the end of this year. And at a 0.2 gram cutoff, it came in at 2.15 million ounces of oxide gold. At a 0.17 gram cutoff, it came in at 2.5 million ounces of oxide. But we haven't updated the resource to include last year's drilling and this year's drilling. So if I put it into feet, we have to take about 750,000 feet of new gold results and put them into that next resource model. And once that's done, you're going to get a much larger global picture, because the range-front discovery and several other things that we found are not even in that resource. And the logic of kind of pushing off the first economic study is, until we know what this actual dimensions are of the deposit, like if you can get it close to 4 million ounces, then you can do your early stage met, etc., and go and do a quick economic study on it. And once that study comes out, then you hopefully have secured your drill water. We've got about 80% of mine operating water. We've already got about that. And metallurgy, all this kind of stuff comes together. And what you're ultimately looking for is a 20-year mine life with 175,000 ounces of oxide gold production per annum. You really need the long mine life for these things. These are huge earth-moving operations. They're quite simple to put together. The permitting in our case is made easier because there's no fish-bearing streams near any of these projects. There's no timber values. They've been fully reclaimed. They're close to power and infrastructure, and they have low royalty burdens on both projects. So that sets the company up really well. And before the market pulled back, we did a raise of around $30 million at $1.10 in February, and that money is in our treasury, and we just got another $6 million US into our treasury yesterday from the last payment of the Turkish asset sale. So we're flush with cash. We don't need to go through dilution, but now this is the transition point where you're going to see a lot of news flow.
Absolutely. Well, from what you can tell us, alluding to some of that news flow moving forward, what would you say are some of the things that our audience and investors that might be following Liberty Gold, what can they expect? Again, from what you can tell us.
From what I can tell you, it's published in news releases anyhow, that we're targeting new targets that are closer to surface, good grade oxide with an extreme low strip ratio, in order to get extra ounces for the first 2 years of mining operations. Okay, and you do that because You want 3 or 4 operating pits so you can sequence in your tons. You could be throwing 0.2 gram material on a heap leach pad, but another pit you might be throwing 1.4 gram material or 1 gram material or 0.8 gram material. And what you're trying to do is level out your cash flow so you can get an average production that's reasonably consistent over a life of mine.
Well, Cal, with that, where can our audience go and find more information on Liberty Gold?
You can go to our website and find that. There'll be a new PowerPoint presentation giving a lot of new direction that'll be shown at Beaver Creek when we get there. And it's going to show how exploration works in sync with the operations and mine planning and permitting. Everything is going to it's going to be concisely shown to you then. And just every week or 10 days, you're going to see assay results for the rest of this year. And then there's other items that I'm not going to discuss that we're also working on.
Very good. All right. So that website is libertygold.ca. Cal, thank you so much for joining me today. Really do appreciate it. Good luck. Stay safe. I look forward to seeing you at Beaver Creek.
Sounds good. See you there.
See you then. Again, Liberty Gold will be presenting at the upcoming Precious Metal Summit Beaver Creek, happening September 13th through 16th, 2022. For more information, please go to precioussummit.com.